Hey guys, welcome back to channel. Flying Ross here and bringing you another World of Warships video. This time on the new test server with patch 0.40 and also with the possible release of going from closed beta to open beta. Now, it doesn't make much sense to me as a gamer why there is a closed beta, but then also now there's a closed beta test server. You have to download an entire another client. It's weird. I don't necessarily understand it completely. I kind of thought was the impression that a closed beta is where you test things and before it gets released, and gosh, you know, but now they're testing it in other servers, so but you can only get there if you have a closed beta. It very freaking confusing to me. But nonetheless, let's dive into this and get down and dirty with all the changes. So I'm going to go over some of the changes in the port, and then also hopefully show you some actual clips about different changes that are actually in-game and not actually mentioned on the patch notes that actually are on the website. So first things first, is the most noticeable thing, is because it's cosmetic, is camouflage. So if we go into the exterior tab and we can see here in camouflage, there's two different types. The first one, type 1, is here, and you can see the difference, the blotches right there, with the whites and the gray, and this is for American. The Japanese is different. This one actually reduces the detectability by 3%. Now the other one, which I really highly disagree with and I think is wrong, is that this one decreases the accuracy of enemy ships by 4%. Now, I don't agree with that, because if you can see a ship, you're accurate as well as your guns are accurate. Just like in real life, if you have a freaking M16 or AK-47 or whatever, if you can see a guy, you are as accurate as you can be, and nothing that that person can do to make you as a person less accurate firing your gun. Now they can, you know, maneuver, juke left or right and everything, and that can make you miss, but that's the same thing in a ship. But nothing is going to make you fire your guns less accurate. The only thing that could, in theory, is actually them firing guns at you, and then, you know, you taking cover, and so thus would make you less accurate. But, you know, camouflage is not going to make you less accurate. So I highly disagree with it. All my friends that I play with disagree with this well, that, you know, you having camouflage on your ship should not reduce the enemy's accuracy at all. Because what you paint on your ship is not going to make it less harder to hit. It might be less harder to see, which, yes, okay, detectability by 3% makes sense. But yeah, negative 4% to firing accuracy, highly disagree with. And it's not something that's cool in my book. Now, let's also go over to the Wyoming, or what's going to be coming out as the closed beta ship, which is the USS Arkansas. Now, the USS Arkansas is literally the Wyoming unupgraded. You do not get the upgraded propulsion, the deck, or the firing distance. But what you do get is that this one, well, you can't see it right now, gets 2 slots for upgrade modules. As you can go into here under your upgrades, you can see right here, upgrade modules. This ship, which is the Colorado, gets 4 slots. The Wyoming gets 2. The USS Arkansas, which if you get 50 battles in a closed beta, you will get not 4, you will get 6 upgrade slots. Now, talking about upgrades, also ammunition and consumables have come into play. Now, currently there is no quote-unquote gold ammo as it is in World of War tanks, but there is different consumables now. Now, there's Damage Control Party 1, which is free, but you can get the upgraded version, which just decreases the reload time. The same thing goes with the Repair Party, again, decreases the reload time. Now, what's something different, though, for battleships right here is that the spotting aircraft, it says number of charges 3, but it also increases, if you highlight over it, increases battery firing range by 20%. So something to keep in mind. That once you launch that, for the remainder of the time that airplane is up, you get a 20% increase to your range on top of all your upgrades that you already have. Now, the most complex things that I think is really being changed, other cosmetic, is actually the skill trees, and we can go over them real quick. Expert loader, negative 30% to reload time when you're switching your shell type from like HE to AP or vice versa. Also, some things have been changed, like, or moved up, like fire prevention, which is negative 7% to chance of fire, is now tier 2 instead of tier 5. New things like last chance, if your HP is less than 20%, you get a negative 9% to reload time. And also, Superintendent, you get an additional charge for all consumables mounted on the ship. So those repair parties, you get an extra 1 per. So that's a really good thing. Also, some new ones. Last Stand, which is if your gears are critically damaged or your engine, you can still maneuver and move, as well as preventive maintenance, which gives negative 34% chance of incapacitation of modules, which is amazing. Now, it's something that I'm really wondering right here is about the secondary armament, which is a little bit different. 10% to AA efficiency, which is the same, but it says negative 10% to reload time of guns with caliber of up to 155 millimeters. Now, in the description, it does not say anything about actually being secondary weapons. It says caliber. So, also down here, advanced firing training, also 20% of firing range of guns with caliber up to 155 millimeters. Also increases the AA defense firing range by 20%. Now, this is something interesting if you would take into consideration a ship like the US Atlanta. The USS Atlanta has 127 millimeter cannons. So in theory, if you're theory crafting here, like I like to do, and I'm not testing it out yet, and I really don't know, but in theory craft world, if you have a commander with those skills, you could fire your 127 millimeters farther. Right now it's 11.1, so add 10% to that, or 20% to that. And then also you can fire them at a rate of 12 rounds per minute. So then also add 10% to that to your rounds fired per minute, or negative 10% to the reload rate, whatever you want to say. But yeah, you're getting an extra 1 round per minute. So that's 13 rounds per minute out there, and that is pretty amazing. That not only can you increase your range in this ship, but also decrease your reload rate. So it's something about theory crafting, and I don't necessarily know if it's true. Now, another thing about theory crafting is I think that with this patch, with it being on a different server, which is really weird to me, again, just mind-boggling, that this is really, and they also said this, it's in preparation for the release of open beta. Now, with open beta, all accounts will be wiped in what has been earned, so like your amount of money you've been earning, your ships, your crew, all that's going to be wiped. Now, the amount of gold that you have, which this is actually free, this is what was given on this separate accounts, the separate server. They gave us 10,000. Actually, one of my buddies got 200,000, which got a little jealous over that. But now all that would be wiped except for the gold and stuff, and any ships that you actually bought on the website. So if you bought a ship to get into the closed beta, you will still have those ships. They're not going to go away. So let's get into game and actually go over a couple things about these new consumables, about new things that actually are happening. So let's jump in there. So something new is that you can compare ships. On the right hand side, show my ship. You can now highlight over a thing and see how inferior I am to the Izumu, which I'm against in my tier 7 battleship against a tier 9. Yeah, so you can see all that nice red and how much I'm going to be screwed against 2 Izumus. Yeah, fun times. But yeah, this ship comparison is something new. Now, something I went over before is how the scout plane works in game. As you can see right now, the Izumu sits at 21 kilometers away. I can't do anything, but now I launched the scout plane. I get a 20% increase, and also now you can see how I'm looking at the ship has changed. Now, this is something that they did not release in patch notes. They did not mention anything about changing the view of firing. But it is now as if you're looking from the airplane itself, which is kind of weird to get used to about how to fire. But you do increase your range. As you can see, I can reach out to 23 kilometers now. But this is an interesting range that you actually are looking down from a, 15, 20 degree angle from the aircraft per se, but kind of sitting right above you. And now you have to kind of gauge where to fire with the ship being faced that way. Now, this only lasts as long as that your aircraft is up and running, so I have 48 seconds left on mine. And as you can see, that it kind of gets more gradual as it goes out. So like right here, it's kind of the same as always, and then out here at the range, once you get past your normal range, that's when you're going to be using the aircraft, I guess. And you can see that once I actually get this back on track, that, still 26 seconds left. I'm still using the aircraft, and also now I'm going to fire. And then hopefully that these rounds hit. But I'm not really used to firing it with it because, well, it is new. Well, this Izumu is fast, and I didn't really lead. But you can see they're falling over and over, which is actually really good to watch where your rounds are getting placed. But yeah, that is a new thing that they did not mention. But now that the scout is back, we are aiming now just like normal. So something to keep in mind, that it's only for that time that your scout is up and running. Now I believe that this is only for battleships as well, with extended range, and not for any other ship. Again, something to keep in mind. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video going over all the changes in this new patch that is on this closed server to the testing server. I don't know. This is a separate server than the regular closed beta test server. But yes, I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, I definitely do think my theory crafting is right. I don't necessarily know, but I predict in the next week or 2 weeks you will actually see this going from closed beta to open beta. Now, there's no actual official release, but that's just what I'm thinking, especially since this is on a different client than the closed beta server. So I don't necessarily know if this is true, but that's just my theory. So I hope you enjoy everything that I went over, especially the spotting aircraft, the mechanic there that you actually view from a different spot when you have your spotting aircraft out, comparative to when it's not out. It's not something that's actually in the patch notes. Now, something that's not in the patch notes as well is there's an actual and audible voice given command when torpedoes are detected. Now, this has not been in the game before and is also not mentioned in patch notes as far as I read them. But what it will say is it'll be like torpedoes port side or torpedoes stern. Either way, it would actually give you a voice audible command telling you where the torpedoes are. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. If not, I'm sorry. You know, I'm still new at YouTube, right? But anyway, no apologies. But I hope you guys enjoy it, and more World of Warships content, more video games, period, coming out. I'm super excited that E3 just passed, and so many games are coming out in the next year. So excited. So yeah, stay tuned to my channel for more. As always, though, I'm the Flying Ross. I'll check you guys next time on the high seas.